Now, the Ministry of Education may reintroduce corporal punishment in schools to tame runaway indiscipline cases. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha says that it is time caning is reintroduced to discipline errant students who have been taking to banning schools. Professor Magoha, in the meantime, is urging parents to discipline their children. Here's that report.
Speaking at Egentoto Primary School in South Mugirango, Kisii County, during commissioning of new classes, Education Cabinet Secretary George Magoha decried perpetual indiscipline among school-going children and vowed to ignore lobby groups opposed to caning and instilling discipline among school-going children.
We need to introduce caning back in schools, like yesterday.
Magoha also said as a ministry they have supported creation of approved schools across the country in a bid to deal with delinquency among students.
The walking back in the legal framework is on the basis of the so-called human rights. Which human rights is there when you want to ban your colleagues in the halls? And that conversation will involve as to whether we still need boarding schools or not.
Similar sentiments were echoed by Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, who added that it was time a national conversation on the current wanting parenting was fixed.
We need to have a conversation on parenting in our country and discipline in our schools. And tusiwachie mambo hii kwa serikali, the government. Apana, it's work that we need to do. We have buried our heads in the sand for too long, especially from the point of view of parenting. If you want to know the challenges that we have with parenting in this country, talk to school principals. In fact, I believe that other than those of us in the security sector, the school principals are some of the people who have the toughest jobs in this country.
Recently, several schools in the country have gone up in flames, with the government accusing students. The latest incidents including Maranda High School, which was closed indefinitely for the second time after its dormitory was razed down. On the national examination schedule for next year, Professor Magoha says 2 sets of Kenya Certificate of Primary Schools Education and Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education were ready for administration and were set in consideration with the challenges brought about by COVID-19 pandemic. For Prime Edition, I'm Gladys Mungai.